The tone of this video will be slightly different. Less energy, less enthusiasm, and certainly a more serious tone. Simply because a little over 3.5 hours ago, my father had his 7th seizure in the last 2 years. All of them being due to alcoholism, and me having witnessed the last 6. But I'm not making this video out of pity or being sad or expressing how depressed I feel. I would have made this video either way. I literally had it ready before the seizure happened. But I feel like the universe came together and had it happen as just another concrete reason as to why masculinity is so important. Because me having developed my masculinity, living with more masculine energy, and working towards a big purpose that I want to achieve, all of those things give me reason to keep fighting through all of the problems in my life, and especially including the problems with my father being an alcoholic. Because he has always liked alcohol throughout his life, especially through my life, and very especially in the last 5 years or so, where he started to drink at work and drunk drive, all because he couldn't wait to get drunk. And he's not the stereotypical alcoholic that you see portrayed everywhere. He's not violent and angry and takes his anger out on everyone. He's just depressed. And anybody could talk to him and try to talk some sense into him. He'll say he understands, but then give him another hour and then he'll be back onto drinking. And he only agreed with you just so you can go away, so he can keep doing his own thing. Because he doesn't have it in him to get violent or get aggressive and argue. He's a weak feminine man, and the only way that he can get his way is to lie and go behind people's backs and do what he wants then. But be nice and agree with you to your face. And before I really started to develop my masculinity, I wasn't able to deal with this problem. Every time he would drink, or I knew he was drinking, or something bad would be going on, I would just be worried and didn't know what to do. And if he were to drink in front of me, I would just stay quiet and get nervous because I was so uncomfortable with confrontation. And so if the young me that was weak and feminine had to deal with this now, I honestly do not know how I would have coped, because I wasn't even able to deal with when my parents argued because he drank so much. I would get nervous. But now I'm at a point where I've confronted my father several times. Things have got physical before. I've pushed him, I've hit him, and today marks the 6th time when I had to call in an ambulance for him because he had a seizure in relation to alcohol. And not only watching him have a seizure due to his alcohol problems, but also watching and hearing my mother be completely hysterical because she is watching the man that she has loved for over 20 years completely ruin his life, is on the road to kill himself, and is now seizing up, possibly on the verge of death if things go wrong enough. So I really do not understand how the weak and feminine young me could have ever dealt with something like this. I think I would be crying and I would be depressed for the next week because I wouldn't know how to move forward. And that somewhat happened to me the first time I called out the ambulance for him. And the first time I did panic quite a bit. And then I got really down while in the hospital with him because I went there with him that one time. And then when I came back, I was feeling really down and depressed for the next day or two. But I kept improving myself and taking responsibility for the things in my life. And what I just talked about is one example. Because I could play victim and think that, why is this happening to my family? And why does it have to be me that has to deal with my father being an alcoholic and having seizures? Of course it's not good at all, and of course it's very unfortunate that this has happened. But I cannot complain. If I am in this situation in life, all I can do is make it better. And how I can make it better is work so hard to become financially free so that I could possibly help my father as much as he could with his alcohol problems by getting him the required help that would cost a lot of money. Or if things don't go perfect, I would have enough money to move me and my mother away, somewhere away from him. So being sad and depressed about it all is the worst thing I can do, because I would just be stuck here, not being able to do anything. And so with having developed my masculinity, taking on more responsibility, trying to be more independent, being strong during hard times, lifting up weak people, trying to solve problems, trying to make the world a better place, and me doing all of those things for the sake of bettering my own life, and most importantly, bettering my mother's life. Because of course she's the one that's going to be affected much more by this than me, and I just want to help her get away from it all. And she shouldn't, of course, live through something like that. And the fact is that not only should nobody live through that, but especially women, because the stress that they go through will make them develop their masculinity. And when they develop more masculinity and live more masculine, they just will not be as happy in life. But also because my mother has to watch the man that she fell in love with, married, had a child with, built a life with, he is slowly killing himself in front of his own family, and there's nothing we can do about it. He has probably heard everything under the sun that he needs to hear in order to get help, but he doesn't want help. He is so far gone that he only wants to drink. And me wanting to help myself and my mother, and knowing that the only way that I can help us is by taking on responsibility and getting us out of it myself. And on top of all of that, another thing that I haven't yet mentioned is not being afraid of facing difficult situations. Because like I said, before I wasn't able to confront my father at all, but now I'm able to confront him when it's needed. And another thing is that I don't really panic anymore when he's having a seizure and is on the verge of death. Because not only has this happened several times, I know there's nothing I can do but to put him in a safe position and wait. Around a year ago now, I journaled and mentally lived through the process of my father dying. Because last year my parents were supposed to go back to Lithuania for a month, but my father had a seizure and his passport was expired anyway, and so it meant that he wasn't able to go and my mother went herself, which left me and him in the house by ourselves. And within the first week of us being alone, he kept drinking and things got bad basically. And I was prepared for something bad to happen, but I knew I wasn't as prepared as I could be. And so like I said, I literally journaled the process of how I thought my father would die, and I mentally lived it. And I journaled something along the lines of that I imagined him having a seizure downstairs on the sofa and me not hearing him and not being able to help him because of that. And him choking on his own spit basically and suffocating himself and dying. And I think it's true for everybody who has the type of seizures that he does, is that they at least piss themselves. And he's pissed himself every single time he has had a seizure. But it would happen, and I wake up in the morning, go check on him and see that he's dead. I'd call 999 to report what happened, and while I would wait for the ambulance to come, I would have let my dog sniff him for the very last time before they take him away. Or crouching down in the hallway with my dog, watching him get stretchered out. I've mentally lived in the world where I seen my father die and had to take care of it. And so now it means when he has seizures, I'm not very fazed because I've lived the worst scenario in my head willingly. And the only reason I was able to do it in the first place, because I understand the importance of masculinity. Problems will forever need solving, and it's only the truly masculine men who could do the best job at it. And with him being feminine and my mum being a woman, it means that I need to become the problem solver, and I need to become the masculine one, and I need to become the head of the household who makes decisions and thinks about what is best for the family. I need to do that because otherwise this family will crumble and everyone will be bitter and everyone will be depressed. I need to be hyper independent so that I can take care of myself and have enough energy and life force to perhaps give my father some help or some advice if it's ever needed or he asks for it. And also have enough energy to take care of my mum if she ever needs it, or help her with anything if she needs help. And on top of all of that, I need to make YouTube videos to help fellow men improve their lives, fix the problems in their lives, and perhaps be able to take away something from the things that I've lived through so that they can apply it to their lives, which will cause them to not make the mistakes that I've made, or to be able to know what to do when a similar situation comes up in their life, and make a lot of money so that I have the financial freedom to live the life that I want, help my father with his problems, and be financially free so that I can live the life that I want and fix the problems that are going on in my life, and most importantly, the family problems that I'm going through with my father being an alcoholic. If I didn't know about masculinity or was against it, or for whatever reason wasn't acting masculine or even wanting to be masculine, I would probably once again be on the verge of suicide. Because why would I want to live through such hardship when I don't understand the reason for all the suffering. But because I understand that life for men is suffering, but the suffering brings success, joy, and freedom. So you need to live through it and come out the other end even better. So me living a masculine existence and understanding that being the most masculine man that I can will bring me the most happiness and freedom possible in life means that I should live like the most masculine man that I can and take the most masculine actions that I can, which are to live through the hardship, help other people when they can't help themselves, stay strong, stay grounded, make the world a better place. But before even making the world a better place, I need to make my life a better place. So that means fixing all the problems, which will not only help me but also other people, which means that I need to stay strong and fight through my father's battle with alcoholism, be there for him if he needs me, help my mother go through the same hard time that I'm going through, so that I can make my life and the life of the people that I love most better, and then eventually also making the world a better place as well. As a man, absolutely do not neglect the importance of masculinity, as to live a meaningful life means to work towards a big attractive purpose, and the only way you can achieve purpose is by continuing to get through hard times, not complaining, getting stronger, getting better, and lifting other people up around you who aren't able to do it themselves. Which leaves me in a position that I can either face the problem head on and try the best I can to help my father with his alcoholism and help everyone affected, but in the end will make me live a meaningful and virtuous life because I'm trying to help others and getting through problems even when I don't feel like it. Or I could hide away from it, do nothing and pretend like it's not there while everybody suffers, including me, which would then leave me even more depressed because I didn't help even though I could have, and perhaps would have even changed the outcome of my father's battle with alcoholism. So put in enough time and attention because that will make anything into reality.